So, yes, as you can see, I am indeed stuck in traffic. I got at the gym around probably, I want to say an hour ago, and I just stood there by some place that had a shade on because, you know, the traffic here in San Diego, especially in, you know, south of San Diego, it's fucking awful, right? Around this time. Right now it's like, what, like five something? And so, you know, the traffic is very heavy. And so right now, you know, I just had the idea to just talk to the camera, of course, not look at it, you know. I'm not violating anything. I'm just recording for warning purposes, you know. Not warning, for just precaution purposes, right? Just for my own safety. So don't flag me on that. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just recording this, right? So so yeah, I mean, this thing is the title is let's talk about weight loss, right? So let me guess, right? First of all, if you're a kid or if you're a teenager, do not do this. If you have a car, don't do what I'm doing. Don't do it, because the causes can be very disastrous. No, can be catastrophic. There you go, better word. Don't do what I'm doing, of course. You know, I am not responsible if you do this. Don't quote me on this. Don't keep me accountable. I'm doing it because I'm a professional. And so, once again, teenagers that are losing weight, or that if you're trying to lose weight, you know, losing weight in itself, it's an art of analyzing your own habits and analyzing your well-being, because once you actually try to lose the weight, it's very simple to fall off, because we all know that, okay, you're a teenager between the ages of maybe 10 or maybe 20, right? You're not an adult. I'm sorry to tell you that, but Gen Z, we are not adults. We aren't. You know, we have ideologies of a 30-year-old, right? It doesn't matter if we're 20-something, right? Some of us, of men, at least, we grow older mentally, right? And I think we all know that, right? We can probably assimilate to that. But it is easy to fall off from your weight loss goals because, you know, it does depend on the lifestyle you live. And that's, you know, mainly your habits, because we can all sit down and tell ourselves that, oh yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm not losing weight, and then we give ourselves excuses, right? Excuse after excuse. But to top it off, it's not really worth falling off, and just try to keep it concise, right, with your weight loss. Because if you're a teenager right now, you might be in school, which I am sure you are, right, by the means of it. But if you are trying to lose just a couple of pounds, right, or even, let me put it this way, even if you do anything, right, anything of exercise, keep in mind that you are still growing, you know. The one mistake I had when I was actually very obese, like fat, I was pretty much a bowling ball, literally. I have the shape of a ball, right, with just two legs and arms on the side, right? Literally, that was my body complexion back then. And so, you know, it was pretty mentally rough to think about, damn, how the hell did I get into this type of shape, right? That's what I now think about, right? And so, yeah, there you go. I'll let you stay here. See, I mean, there's a bunch of traffic, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean, like I said, mentally, it's tough to actually talk to yourself, because you don't know. You actually don't know what you're doing. And so that is totally understandable. You don't know what you're doing until you actually do it and you get the experience from it. Because losing weight, it's very easy and simple, you know. You don't have to talk about, you know, your fat activists. We don't have to talk about, you know, the you know, people that are fat phobic, right? Because it does exist, but it just depends how you use it. Because I could be fat phobic to my people, right? The ex-fat people, or fat people in general, because I have the excuse that I used to be fat. Yeah, I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but yeah, I mean, one day I can literally say to some fat person, oh dude, are you trying to lose weight? If I want to help them, right? Because sometimes, you know, people have wrong mentalities, and they have ideologies and limiting beliefs that, you know, they're just like, you know what, I've tried to lose weight so many times, endlessly, and I just can't, I can't do it. But the thing is that, they try some kind of diet, right? They try the famous keto diet, the vegan diet, the Mediterranean diet, the paleo, the carnivore, the just veggies, the just fruit diet, and what they don't realize is that, sure, they might try, right? They might restrain themselves or restrict themselves from several food groups, and then guess what? That's where the famous rebound in the JoJo dieting starts. I know it's hard to understand. If you're a teenager and you're just listening to me speak, I know it's hard to understand, and I don't fully, and I know I will take responsibility that you're probably not going to understand a lot of things what I'm saying because you haven't gone through them. But once again, obesity in the US it's common. It's not rare. It is very common. And, some parts in Mexico and everywhere in the world, right? I have heard that, Asian people are like not skinny, but, they keep a regimented diet. Which, it depends because I'm not from that culture. But from what I can say, that Mexican and Hispanics in general, we just consume a lot of shit, right? We consume a lot of food, and sorry for cussing. I know this video is meant for people my age and below, and probably, above, right? If you stick to the video. But just keep this in mind. Hispanics are fat. Americans are fat. I'm not going to talk about percentages because, fat people are everywhere. Right now, I am fat. Some of you might be surprised, like, oh, wow, why would you say that, Your face is very lean. Well, that's just thanks to genetics and for keeping my mouth shut when I'm actually eating and I'm not playing with my food. I chew my food, and I chew them with the two muscles right here. Yes, the masseters right here. Boom, boom. And so, yeah, tip right there, quick tip. If you're a teenager and you're obsessed with having like a straight, sharp jawline, then make sure to actually start chewing hard foods and chew them, not with your front teeth, with the back, right here, with the back teeth, your molars. I think that's what they're called, right? And just chew them. Don't open your mouth. Don't do this, Keep your mouth shut and just chew your food slowly and make sure you actually feel the muscle. I know it takes a long time. I will recommend to, chew gum in that instance. But I know a lot of people that are fat right now, they're thinking to themselves, bro, I want to have a sharp jaw. First of all, you need to actually well, first of all, sorry, I don't know what happened. First of all, what you need to do is lower your body fat. That is just a primordial thing to do when you're fat. A lot of people don't like to talk about it because, it doesn't sound sexy. But the only sexy thing is that once you get rid of that weight, you're going to have a very sharp jawline, And it just depends on genetics, right? And how your face is actually formed by your bone structure. But what I can say is that, sure, I could say this, I was obsessed over my jawline because I'm like, damn, I've never seen this sharp jawline before. Who am I, right? And, back then, I still do have some kind of body dysmorphia, right? I'm not comfortable of the way I look right now because of some things and decisions I have made. But that is just up to me to keep myself accountable, right? And to show everybody that it's easy to lose weight because I will do it. I will do a transformation and show everyone, every teenager, everyone from the ages of 13 to 20 and 20 to 25 and plus, that it is possible. And to at least motivate, people that are, fat acceptance activists and that are very fat and they want to stay fat because all bodies are beautiful and, that is just BS. And if you're a teenager, a man or a woman, don't think like that. Being fat is not okay. Being in the middle, being healthy, average, you can at least do a mile without actually being hurt, getting hurt or getting like some kind of type of cramp. It's good for you. It's good for your health. That's why many things are made for the average human, not for people over this, over 300, 400 pounds. That's just does not exist in this society. And I know it's a society, form. I know we're supposed to look a certain way and stuff like that, right? According to social media. But you know, social media is fake. Nothing is real. We just live in a world. You need to focus on yourself, because if you don't and you start, you know, damaging your body, then guess what? Nobody's going to tell you that, oh, dude, you need to lose some weight, you know? Nobody's going to do it for you. They might tell you, they might give you a tip or here and there, right? They might inspire you, but the only one that is actually going to keep that promise to you is to yourself, actually. You need to keep yourself that promise that, you know, you're going to change, you're going to do this. You have to keep yourself self-accountable, because if you don't, then guess what? Nobody's going to do it. Unless you pay a coach and, you know, he's like kicking your ass. But, you know, I am sure you don't want to, you know, you don't want a coach right now, I assume. I don't know, right? Maybe you have some type of different goals, right? Maybe you want to build muscle after it, or maybe you want to build muscle while you're losing weight. There are many cases, you know, but for the average teenager, they just want to have abs, they want to look good, they want to attract girls, you know, the usual, right? The usual that the self-improvement gurus kind of, you know, preach. But, you know, I myself want to help every teenager that watches this video, right? This is gonna go under the handsome fella, and I'm going to post it today, actually. So, you know, just a little POV of me driving home, because I was just stuck in traffic. I was literally just on the side, not of the road, but on some side of, you know, some parking lot on the shade, because it is very hot. I know right now, I don't have a special mic. It's just the iPhone mic. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. Well, I hope. But I'm probably sure it doesn't sound that good either. So we'll see about that. Because I don't want anything or any external sound to, you know, be in this recording, because I know it's going to sound muffled and my words are not going to sound as well. And so that's why you see me like sweating like a pig. So it's okay, you know. It is worth it, you know. So yeah, I mean, this weight loss thing, building muscle thing, it takes time, dude. It's going to take a lot of time. And, you know, a bunch of us, even myself, you know, we want results right now. We want to be instantly gratified. I think that's how you call it, right? Instant gratification, right? We want it right now. If it's not right now, we wanted it yesterday, because that's just how we are. You know, we want that dopamine hit. We want to, you know, feel validated. And I think that's most of us, right? It doesn't matter if you're a man, a female. It doesn't matter what kind of human being you are. I'm pretty sure everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to be validated, you know. Everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants to have some type of power, some type of status, right? I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that, right? And so let me tell you that, you know, once you start building yourself, I know it takes, you know, a lot of people say that success goes straight, right? Like a straight line, right? And then it kind of just like stops, right? You probably know what I'm talking about, right? Those graphs that they tell people that success, it's not linear, it's just up and down in circles and shit like that. Well, that has something to do with it, because the process of losing weight is the same thing. And that's what I've been preaching, right? I tell myself and the people I talk about this kind of matter, right? I tell them that getting successful financially is probably the same as losing weight, because you need to, you know, get good habits. You need to change your lifestyle. You need to change your friendships. You need to change your environment, first of all. And a lot of people don't do that, right? And so I'm like, okay, if I go by this rule, I know I'm going to suffer for a long time, because, you know, some people might get lucky on the financial kind of stuff, right? And if you're a teenager listening to this, I do encourage you to start seeing, or at least getting into some type of sales training, because I sadly, and you know, it's not for me to make myself a victim. I didn't know anything about sales, and you know, sales in it of itself is life. You're convincing people, you know, you're telling people, your teacher, you know, teachers sell you the dream. Teachers sell you that you need to study, if not, then you're going to get an F, right? They sell you on that, right? Your friends, right? They convince you to go every other party, right? They close you on that. And you know, there are very different terms that, you know, you're gonna use in your life, you know, because, you know, it's pretty much relationship building, and sales is just that, right? And there's more to it, which I don't, you know, it's not the video for that. But you know, I do encourage every teenager to actually get some type of sales training. I would recommend JB or maybe some Grant Cardone, or the popular one that is popping off right now is actually Andy Elliott. And I know a bunch of you might know who that is, right? I know there's many memes of him, but he's got some good analogies, and I'll give him to that, right? I won't say he's like the best sales trainer. I'm not going to say that, right? That's just ridiculous. But I will say that he's got some pretty good strategies for success, right? And so that just depends from person to person, right? Boom. Let's see. I don't want to hate nobody. And so yeah, I mean, it just depends. And so I would encourage everybody to at least read a book about sales or any of that sort, because it is important. Life is sales. Just keep it simple like that. And so what I was saying with weight loss, right? Obesity and teenagers, they don't really listen to their parents. I know there is an age that people or teenagers start rebelling against their parents because they want to be free, and especially if you live in America, right? They're starting to push that woke shit, that let them be, let them do whatever they want, or let them do this, right? They're kids. Sure, I mean they're kids, but like, why would kids want to dress a certain way, right? Like man, female to man. That just doesn't make sense to me. In my head, I'm like, wow, okay. Different society, different norms, different ideologies, different analogies, different terms, different politics, everything single that, right? And I would like to get into politics because I'm like, bro, okay, I personally don't have an idea. I don't know where my thoughts came from because I grew up watching TV. I know some of you, or maybe some of you can relate, that maybe your parents told you that your TV rots your brain, and that has some truth to it. Just like social media, just like YouTube, just like Instagram, Snapchat, stuff like that, right? You're just wasting your time. You're scrolling mindlessly. And so I don't know, man, it's just something to reflect on. If you're a teenager and you actually are watching this, comment down below, because there's just so many things that correlates to weight gain, social media standards, every standard, right? There has to be some type of connection, and I'm pretty sure you can relate to this, and I'm pretty sure you can imagine this type of connection against everything, right? Because weight loss is, I don't want to say it's connected, but it has some relevance to it. It just works in my head. Right now I can't be fully focused to explain my thoughts because I am indeed driving right now. But what I can say is that social media just throws out standards that are some people don't like them, some people don't go by it, and so they want to look a certain way. They want to push their agendas to young kids. They want them to be depressed and fat, and they want to watch unusual websites and stuff like that, right? And so what people don't realize is that kids nowadays, they are living on their iPads, and I'm pretty sure you probably can relate to it because you're watching this video. I'm pretty sure you're probably a kid that is stuck to his iPad, and doesn't go out. You have just friends online. You probably, it's hard for you to make friends, and it just varies from person to person, right? And you can probably agree on that. We live now in an age of we live in a digital era that everything is online. Businesses are online, making friends are online, doing everything, everything is now online. And it's good and bad, because depending on how your mental health is, I am not an expert on mental health, but I have some relevance to it. I can relate to it. Back then when I was actually playing video games, I was watching YouTube, I was watching game clips, stuff like that, right? Eating whatever, any type of junk food I probably ate. Honestly, to be completely honest, any type of junk food, anything that was in front of me, I would eat. I was a vacuum. I was a fat vacuum. Yes, sir. Yeah, I was. And so, the only thing that stopped it was actually, I wanted to get booked. Every man wants girls, right? So I wanted to get girls. Boom. I tried losing weight for the wrong reason. I learned my lesson. Maybe you are in the same way, right? Maybe you want to get girls. Maybe, is I hurt my fucking tongue? Fuck. maybe you want to get girls, maybe you want to do this, maybe you want to just look better, which, you know, it just depends. But I would say that for the average person, for the average man nowadays, you know, under the age of 20, we just want bitches, right? We just want, hey, to be honest, man, hey, I'm trying to connect with you, you know, we can all relate on that. And so, you know, we all want to look a certain way, but, you know, there are just so many obstacles that we can talk about, right? And we will talk about it in the future. But, you know, like I said, right now, I can't look at anything because, you know, there's people here, you know. Oh, one thing I could say, social anxiety, man. I myself, I want to think about that, you know, I am kind of just in the inside. I want to think that I'm just not shy, but I like to keep things to myself. And I don't know if it's just limiting beliefs. I don't know if it was the way I was raised, which it probably is. I mean, I could say that. I am not a psychologist, or maybe some of you people can relate to it as well. And I know I'm sweating as fuck, dude. I might end this in a minute. But yeah, you know, social anxiety it's just so prominent nowadays. You know, we have this, we got things to record for, we got things to work on, you know, we got online everything, you know, and it just kind of connects. I don't know if you can get the connection right now, right? Because, you know, online everything, you don't have no one accountable for. People just get fat for that reason, right? Maybe. Right now I'm just saying nonsense. My bad. I know. There's traffic even here. But yeah, honestly, the only way for you to get motivated to start losing weight and start changing habits is to actually talk deep with yourself, you know. Write it down. Write it, not on a journal. I know. Nothing's happening, guys. Relax. Write it down in a journal and just write something. What did you want to do? Really, just talk to yourself, you know. Because sure, I mean, you can talk to your friends about it, but you know, they're not going to care as much as you are going to care, right? I think we can all agree on that. And so I will encourage you to do that. I'm going to stop the video here because, you know, I need some air. I can't even breathe because, you know, it's bad. But yeah, it was worth it. I hope you liked the video, and hopefully I don't suffocate. So I'll see you later.